We come now to one of the holiest chapters in the Bible, in the whole world, the crucifixion of our Lord. I've often wondered, why did Jesus need to suffer such a painful, prolonged, shameful death? And it was painful in the extreme. It was the most painful way that the Romans could devise to put someone to death, and they were experts. I once heard a doctor describe what would happen physiologically in a man who was being crucified, and it's horrible. I've never repeated that in public. But it wasn't just the crucifixion itself, it was the hours that led up to it that were so horrible. Listen to this. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. The soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and put it on his head. They clothed him in a purple robe and went up to him again and again, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they slapped him in the face. It was horrible, the mockery, the slapping on the face, the crown of thorns slammed into his head, and worst of all, the flogging. That flogging was the 39 strokes that a Roman soldier was allowed to inflict on a prisoner. Actually, they were allowed 40, but it was a crime to go over 40, so they stopped at 39 just for safety's sake. It's awful. And yet, unwittingly, these soldiers were portraying a very graphic, vivid picture of who Jesus is today. Clothed in royal garments, crowned with many crowns, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And get this, the 39 lashes they put on his back turned into scars. And those scars are still visible on Jesus now, as are those on his hands and his feet, and the terrible wound in his side. The soldiers were depicting a Jesus who was glorified through obedience and suffering. And so in heaven they say, "Worthy is the Lamb." What Lamb? The Lamb who was slain, glorified through obedience and suffering. And as the song says, the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now. But not just the physical pain, there was the injustice. Pilate saying, "I find no fault in him," and then condemning him to the 39 lashes. It's so unjust. But again, unwittingly, Pilate is fulfilling all sorts of prophecies. By putting those 39 lashes on his back, he was fulfilling Isaiah 53, "By his stripes we are healed," 39 of them. By having him crucified, he made sure that the prophecies were fulfilled, that the Son of Man will be lifted up, that they shall look on him whom they have pierced, that not a bone of his body shall be broken. And perhaps most remarkably, when Pilate brought Jesus out in front of the Jewish people, robed in purple with a crown of thorns on his head, he said, "Here is the man." He didn't realize he was quoting from Zechariah chapter 6. Zechariah was told to go to the high priest called Joshua. The word Joshua means the same as Jesus, one who saves. Zechariah was to go to Joshua. He was to robe him in royal robes and place a golden crown upon his head, and then to say to the people, "Here is the man." And so all these prophecies fulfilled. But I still say to myself, was it necessary for him to go through such a long, prolonged suffering? After all, there were two other martyrs, one before and one after Jesus, John the Baptist and Stephen. Stephen was stoned to death, which was mercifully quick. John the Baptist was beheaded, and although the circumstances were unbelievably sordid, at least it was quick and virtually painless. Couldn't Jesus just have been beheaded? He would still have poured out his blood for us, wouldn't he? Well, yes, he would. Why was it necessary? Because God wanted the world to see just how much it hurt him when we rejected him. And he wanted to show what it cost him to redeem us. And why do you think Jesus died so quickly? Because he did die quickly. Pilate was most surprised to find he was already dead. Crucifixion was designed to last a long time. There are records of people taking 3 days to die. Only John tells us that he died before the other two either side of him. Why? Well, my dad always said it was because the weight of the sin of the world on the shoulders of the one who had never known sin before was too great for his mortal body, and he died.
His wounds have paid my ransom.